Worshiping God cures us of vanity. In the holy sacrifice of the Mass, we offer ourselves and every aspect of our lives to God, who is love, that we may have his peace. We open with repentance, which awakens faith, so that hearing the word proclaimed, we may be prepared to strengthen our communion with God and each other, which launches us into the mission of bringing this good news of hope and healing to every corner of the world. It all starts with the sign of the cross, the mystery of the gospel, the entire creed in one gesture, and the summary of our Christian faith: Trinity, incarnation, redemption, renewing the covenant that began with our baptism and our commitment to never stop growing as disciples. This is not only an act of worship, but also a reminder of who we are and what we are to be about. Making the sign of the cross is like swearing on the Bible in a court of law, which is why we should feel compelled to show up on time, because otherwise we miss this essential component and are not properly prepared for what will follow. Because we are not spectators, but active participants, witnesses who swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help us, God. Jesus is the master of the house, who has gone to a wedding which represents his ascension into heaven. We, the servants, are awaiting his return in glory, when he will judge the living and the dead and the world by fire. To eagerly expect this to happen at any time now, watching and praying, vigilant and preparing, is the constant challenge for everyone who cares about eternal salvation. At the heart of all this is the holy sacrifice of the Mass, evidence of things unseen, the one thing our souls can't survive without, the source and summit of our faith. It is the Mass that teaches us how we ought to live, and back to the Mass that we bring everything happening in our lives for help from on high. With great desire, Jesus desires to share all this with us. So with great desire, we too should desire to enter in fully, open to receive what he offers and do all he asks. The Mass gives us sure knowledge of the oaths in which we put our faith, that we may live with courage and avoid the destruction that will come to God's enemies. The Book of Wisdom just reminded us, for in secret the holy children of the good were offering sacrifice and putting into effect with one accord the divine institution. We are now in the midst of its fulfillment. We have been summoned to this great task, this journey where we may be uncertain of how things will unfold, but unafraid, because we know the one who is in control. We are never alone, and whatever we suffer will not be in vain, because God is always at work for our greater good. There is a direct correlation between how engaged we are in the offering of ourselves, our lives, and our loved ones, our past, our present, and our future, as a sacrifice of trusting surrender to the Holy Father during Mass, and how much peace and clarity we will get to live with throughout the rest of the week. Simply put, there is no substitute for the power of the holy sacrifice of the Mass. So it should be at the very heart of everything we are and everything we do, always and everywhere, for as long as we all shall live.